Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Elizabeth, the Minister of Beauty, sharing the Bible that's business, inspiration, beauty, life, and enjoyment. It is Beauty Wednesdays on the channel, and this is actually something that was requested of me, so I am doing this out of my comfort zone, but hey, it is what it is, and it's something that I do, and so why not share it with you all? So this is going to be a video on some awkward waxing, and the awkward waxing that we'll be doing in this video, or I will be doing on myself, is nasal waxing and bikini waxing. Now, normally guys, I don't wax my own bikini very often. I'm going to do a video soon for you all, just sharing some of my routines, but waxing the bikini area is not something that I do on myself very often, and I will share why in a little bit. But the nasal waxing, I'm here to tell you guys, it is something that is life-changing. It has been for me, and it's something that I think a lot of people, especially women, and of course some men, because sometimes you can see a guy talking and you can see the hairs coming out of his nostrils before you see anything else. But it is something that makes such a huge difference. So I'm going to be doing both of those in this video, so just continue watching. And hey, because I'm doing this, just go ahead and hit that like button right now and hit the subscribe button if you do not mind. But yeah, let's get into this. Well, you've probably seen like the nose trimmers and of course scissors for trimming hairs in the nose, but honestly, waxing the nostrils or waxing the nose is a lot safer, and it's just better because when you're waxing, you're removing hairs directly from the follicles, whereas when you are trimming, you're just shortening the length of the hair. And when you are using scissors, you're just cutting some of those hairs down. And with waxing, you are going to be pulling those hairs out. So this isn't something that you're going to have to do as often as you would have to trim the hairs using a trimmer or using scissors. So it's definitely preferred. So the way to use and the way to wax the nostrils, or the way you would have them done professionally, because I will say I do recommend you get this done by a professional. Remember guys, I'm a licensed esthetician, so I'm doing this on myself just to show you all that it is safe, but get it done by a professional, okay? We use hard wax. Hard wax is stripless wax. It's wax that you don't have to put a strip on, rub it, and then rip it off. The hard wax, it just pretty much shrink wraps around the hairs. It encapsulates the hairs when the wax is warm, and then when that wax gets cooled and it is hard and it's formed that capsule around those hairs, then we would just pull it to remove the hairs. So it's definitely safe. It's the recommended method for removing hairs from the nostrils. And so I just put some wax on the tip of the wax applicator and swirled it around and put it in the nostril, and I let it sit. So you guys can see me applying the wax to my nostrils, but while I'm doing that, I'm just going to kill two birds with one stone, and I'm going to begin the bikini waxing process while I am waiting on the waxing from the nostril area to be ready to be removed. So I'm applying the wax to the bikini area. You guys don't see that, but you can see the wax on the stick, and I'm just swirling it around. And then I'm going to apply it to those areas outside of my panty line. And I said a few minutes earlier in the video, I'll tell you guys why I normally do not wax my bikini area myself very often. I have done it before, but if I'm going to get it done, I'll usually get it done by somebody else just to let them do the work. But when I'm doing this on myself, I get nervous. And when you're nervous, your nerves are heightened, and then it can produce sweat from your sweat glands. So I'm sweating as I am doing this. I've already taken my shower, which is why I'm in my robe right now. But yeah, I'm sweating a little bit. I'm popping some beads of perspiration from the nerves. So I have to make sure that I have blotted those areas with cotton pads to make sure that I'm dry down there before I apply any wax, because you don't want to apply wax to an area that is damp or wet, because it can slide and it may not grip onto those hairs in that area that you need it to if you have moisture in those areas. So I'm just applying strips of wax to those areas while I've got this wax applicator hanging out of my nostril. So I know I look weird, but hey, I have to do what I have to do. And I'm just fanning those areas down there because, again, like I said, the nerves are up, the camera's on, I'm recording this, and I am nervous. So yeah, I gotta do what I gotta do. All right, so now it's time to remove some hairs from the nostril area. So I'm stretching the skin out on my cheek on that side, and then I yanked it out. I felt that one, guys, but it's a lot of hairs that is in there. So you can see those bad boys on the tip of this applicator. And if you look very closely, you can see some little white particles. That is not nose matter, if you know what I mean. That is when you pull those hairs from the follicles, when you are pulling hairs from the roots and you get those bulbs on there. That's something that you really want to see, because that shows that you've really pulled those hairs from the follicles, and that actually helps to slow down the hair growth. And when that hair starts to grow back, sometimes it can thin it out some as well. So that's a good thing. That's a good thing. But no, that's not snot or, anything else like that. Hey, we're getting into it. This is Awkward Waxing Wednesday. Nah, just kidding. It's Beauty Wednesdays, but sometimes you got to get a little ugly to get some things beautiful, if you know what I mean. So I'm going to apply the wax to the other nostril. And as you guys see, I did not have 2 sticks hanging out of both nostrils at the same time. I could do that if I wanted to do that on myself, but when I'm waxing clients, I never do that. I want them to be able to breathe out of their nose. So I'm not going to obstruct my breathing passages, both of them at the same time. I mean, I could breathe out of my mouth and just do that if I wanted to shorten the time span, but I'm not doing that in this video, and I just don't recommend you do that anyway. So while I have that in the other nostril, I'm going to begin removing some strips of wax that have cooled from my bikini area. So I'm doing a little quick prayer, fanning the area, and I'm going to grip the tab and rip. And you can see from the strip, you can see the hairs that are on this. And yeah, I definitely felt that. And if you look at my gloved hand here, you see the shininess. That is after I touch the area that I removed the hair from, and yeah, that is the sweat, okay? Nerves, they are real. So guys, while I continue to remove those wax strips from my bikini area, I'm just going to talk about the benefits of bikini waxing. So it's definitely better for the skin. Shaving tends to irritate the skin a bit more, and with bikini waxing, it removes the hairs from the root. And of course, when you shave, you're just removing hairs from the surface. So that is why you're going to have to shave a lot more often. You're having to shave usually every few days to keep that hair below the skin. But with the waxing, you could possibly go every 4 to 5 weeks between your appointments with getting your bikini waxing done. And also, waxing tends to slow down the hair growth, and sometimes it can thin the hair growth the regrowth rate of your hair as well. So that is also another benefit of bikini waxing. And if you're going to someone who's pretty good, it's usually pretty fast. So unless you are just like a bush woman down there, then it usually isn't going to take any more than maybe 10 to 15 minutes to do a bikini wax. And especially if they're using hard wax, which I do recommend. The soft wax for waxing down there, soft wax tends to exfoliate the skin a little bit, and it's just something you want to be very careful with. I'm not knocking anyone who uses soft wax for bikini waxing, and it can be done, but I recommend someone who is going to be using a lot more hard wax down there than they're going to be using soft wax down there. With soft wax, sometimes you can have the skin lifted and it can cause bleeding and irritation, so I just don't recommend it, and I'm definitely not using it on myself. So just pray with me, guys, as I continue to remove this hair. You can see those hairs on the wax strips as I am removing them. And you can see the glossy shine on my gloves because I've touched that area. And I definitely am feeling the nerves and popping those beads of sweat. So you guys have went through this waxing procedure, or procedures, I should say, with me, and I appreciate you hanging in there with me, praying along with me. I'm showing you some of the waxing sticks from the nostril waxing, and you can see those hairs like, yeah, it was a lot, but it is a game changer for breathing more freely and clear. I definitely recommend nostril or nasal or nose, whatever you want to call it, waxing as we go into these fall and winter months. I hope you guys stay well, stay healthy, but it helps with the breathing. So if you ever feel like you're having clogged passages, sometimes it may not be a sinus thing. It could just be you have a lot of impacted hairs in there that you could stand to have removed. And so get that stuff cleaned up, get it out of there. I have felt like it has changed my life since I've done that, and I won't go back. I definitely will never use a trimmer or scissors up my nostrils. And with the bikini waxing, it's good. Now, it depends on you. Your hair, everybody's different. Everybody's body is different. So if your hair tends to grow back a little bit faster, you may need to get a bikini wax done in 2 to 3 weeks versus 4 to 5 weeks. I am on the curly hair side. As you guys can see, my hair is kind of crazy. So the carpet definitely matches the drapes, if you catch my drift. So because of that, exfoliating down there is essential because the hairs grow in curly, and to prevent impacted follicles and to prevent ingrown hairs, getting that area down there exfoliated on a regular basis is ideal, and that is something that I do. But definitely worth it to get that bikini wax done. I don't feel the need to do a full Brazilian, but if that is your thing, then go ahead and do it. But I don't know. I mean, to each their own. I just don't feel the need for myself to remove hairs from the lips that don't speak to people. If you know what I mean, then you get my drift. I've had it done before, and yeah, I'm good on that. And I don't even do Brazilian waxing on clients myself. I have staff that provide that service, but I just decided there's some things I don't need to see. I've done plenty of them in my day to say I don't ever want to do another person's Brazilian wax ever again. But a bikini, it's cool. It's not a problem. So guys, let me know if you have any questions in the comments section. I really appreciate you guys taking the time to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And this is the Minister of Beauty, here to share the Bible. That's business, inspiration, beauty, life, and enjoyment. So next time we will get into some other things. But until then, have an amazingly blessed and beautiful day.